I have taken Zarozinia's counsel, and I believe it is time for you to assail Crescent Beach and cross the Starfall Sea. Wait, what is this? You know these apparitions? Quickly, speak to them and discover what they want.
Be at ease, good Mantis, young wizard. It is time to throw down Morganth and her dark work. You have restored the Eclipse Tower, and in so doing, you have delved into shadow. I see now that it was inevitable. While I would not and could not teach shadow magic at Ravenwood, I have faith you will not forget our principles. Use these principles to steer yourself between light and shadow. You will need all your wits to take on Morganth. Your next step is to find the Alcazar of Radiant Judgment, a shrine to star magic. Reclaim it in order to deny Morganth its powers. Morganth and her warlords know you are about, so you must expect each league to be hard-fought. Be brave, and we will be with you.
Jambo, young wizard. The restoration of Bastion is a wonderful sight. I'm sure Morganth still burns in anger. Of course, that may not be so good for you, but you will face her challenges with grace and skill, as we know. Still, I can give you some small help. Take this and use it wisely.
By the Spiral, Spellbinder, you have some powerful spirits in your corner. Travel to Fort Rockius. I've sent Zarozinia the Death Song ahead to wait for you. She will guide you down to Crescent Beach. From there, you'll have to find a way to sail Starfall Sea. The ruins of the Alcazar of Radiant Judgment lie somewhere in the waves. The Dying Starstone you recovered from Ghost Dog will guide you to the Alcazar, but I do not know how you will survive the storms. Find Zarozinia and look for a way to cross the Starfall Sea. Spellbinder, you would benefit from some historical context. To act against the Grand Prophecy is to invite the Shadow Queen's wrath. The Khrysalis obelisks detail the Grand Prophecy, though finding them is no mean task. When you encounter them, you will know them for what they are. Find the obelisk orbs, collect them, study them. And perhaps you will find some illumination.
Spellbinder, I've been waiting for you. Be on guard. Despite your victory over Ghost Dog, there are still many enemies about. The way to Crescent Beach was barricaded by the guards of Fort Rockius. Dragon beetles produce searing hot pods as part of their life cycle. We can use them to burn down the barricade. Help me collect some dragon beetle pods from this cavern. Be careful. Dragon beetles bite. Yes, these will do. Wedge the pods into the barricade. The pods will burn the barricade down. Hurry through to the edge of Crescent Beach.
The beetle pods burn brightly. The barricade burns down, leaving little more than a pungent smell.
Crescent Beach. The Shadow Queen's grip is still strong here. Crescent Beach remains in the Shadow Queen's control. Her forces train here and keep supplies flowing from across the sea. Crossing the storm-tossed waters is challenging at best. Many have been lost to the maelstrom or vicious predators. For now, we must focus on reaching the surf. Strike down some sand crawlers to get the password into the Umbra Guard station. The password is Ugh. Sand crawlers have no imagination. Use the password to get us into the Umbra Guard station. Once inside, we will have to fight. Their commander should have a signet ring. We need that to get through the Umbra barriers and down to the seashore.
Ugh. Tell me password. Ugh. You sure? Ugh. Okay. You come in.
You're not one of my sand crawlers. Who let you in? I don't know how you cleverly learned our password, but it won't do you any good.
my signet ring, but you'll never escape the white razors.
With the signet ring, it should be easy to make our way down the beach. Head through the Umbra barrier. We need to determine who controls the docks. They will know how you can sail the sea safely. We may as well confront the White Razors. They likely know how to find the dockmaster.
We only patrol the upper tiers of the beach. Go pester the driftwood branches. They know more about the docks.
I give, Spellbinder. You will find the Dockmaster in her tent. Seek out Mazarin, the Stormwind.
Who are you? Are you on a mission from Fort Rockius? What is happening up there?
I am Zarozinia, the Death Song. The burrowers are trying to sow chaos in Fort Rockius. We are here on a mission for the Shadow Queen. She has ordered us to sail to the center of the Starfall Sea.
Madness! Our vessels stay as far from the maelstrom as possible, and even so, many are lost to violent storms and voracious predators. However, we've been raided by a band of Hopper Scouts. They obviously manage the perilous journey. Find them and question them.
We need to look for these hoppers. The desert hoppers mainly live across the sea in the Konda Desert, but perhaps these can help us. Search the beach for signs of these hoppers. I'll let you do the talking.
You discover a trail made by some kind of fleet-footed burrower. Perhaps the Hopper Scouts?
Look, there's one. After him! He dashed into that cave.
Kamate, kaora! Die, spawn of shadow! Kawaii mate whirligig, mate great beast. Ah, not spawning shade, eh? You speak burrower? Kyle. Wait, tell me, burrow mouse friend, what manner of creature are you? By the dark sun, if you fight with bared teeth against the shadow, you may be my last hope. My small band of scout brothers was attacked. A savage underground beast of awful strength ravaged our camp. I alone escaped. Can you help me rescue them? Follow me to the scout camp. I was out on reconnaissance when there was a terrible ground rumbling in Sand Cloud. I heard pain cries from this tent. I hopped quick to help my scout brothers, but by the time I got here, there was no sign of them.
This cave looks foreboding and smells of rotten fish.
Antlion spore. Nasty things.
This beach is just one long smorgasbord.
I will die another day, stranger. Please, delve deep, deep into the caverns. My brothers are still trapped by these wretched beasts.
Once I found an antlion's hole, and an antlion in it. Nippers, like a pair of rusty clippers. And I saw a hopper rolling its pit, and quick as Ned, this old antlion fanged its head, held it till he was dead. Hold that lion. Flaunt your fill. Feed the bugs or cure or kill. In the end, you pay the bill.
I was dead certain that foul beast would ear-bleed me with more terrible spoken word before slow eating me. I will die another day.
Spellbinder, you have brought us another day in the sun. You wish to ship sail the Starfall Sea. That journey is filled with risk. We barely kept our heads out of water. We hijacked one of the giant sea bugs. The Umbra Legion uses them to send soldiers and supplies from the city of Sardonyx. It took us near a month to ship sail, hugging the coast to avoid the maelstrom. I grok how that wouldn't suffice for you. There are yarns of a mad rat who ship sailed the Starfall Sea once and again. He's said to be a ghost or a beastly spirit. But you'll need to harrow the driftwood branches to learn if they grok more than rumours and half-heard whispers.
Thanks to your heroic do-goodering, we should be safe from the bite mandibles and spoken word of those underground beasts of awful strength. Still, I would feel on higher ground if we could smith up our camp with true hide materials. The Umbra goat weaver silk is true hide, but we can never peel for more than a tiny hop. We need a hag-em squeeze-em goat weaver. Do you grok any yarns of how to get one?
You recall that Katorgeral has always been a safely oblivious source of information. You tell Joshua you'll ask him.
Spellbinder. The underground beast of awful strength has caused hurt burdens on both our hop bodies and our grok minds. Our comestible supply is low, and the driftwood branch patrols hop closer by the day. We need comestibles, and we need time. Please hunt and catch some Umbra food crates. Not a hot love, but it'll do. Can you also spell duel the driftwood branches so we can safely smith up a camp?
sails the Starfall Sea? I have heard preposterous buzzes by the White Razors. Bother them.
With the driftwood branches thought stolen, we were able to make great progress with the smith-up of our camp. And these food crates will do to smith up and long keep our hop strength. You've been a true friend. We will all die another day.
If you want a story, ask first Wayne Fezrick.
Yes, I'm First Wing Fezrick of the White Razors. What do you want? There is a rabid creature that prowls around Crescent Beach. Perhaps some kind of diseased burrower. He's stolen from us many times. My forces should have exterminated him by now, but they have been unable to catch or corner him. I believe his den is somewhere near this Skull Rock, but we have not found it. He's too crafty. Good luck trying to track him down.
Skull Rock, you presume?
Do you think this might be it? Too crafty, the White Razors said. These fragments are from some strange vessel. Whoever or whatever lives here is in a wretched state. Be on your guard.
And now the storm blast came, and he was tyrannous and strong. He struck with his o'ertaking wings and chased us south along.
What madness is this? Spellbinder, defend yourself.
dropped the breeze, the sails dropped down. 'Twas sad as sad could be, and we did speak, only to break the silence of the sea.
More gibberish. This wretch is of no use to us. Let us end his pain.
Wait! No. Come. Follow. Follow! Why have you come here? You are not a spirit, so I cannot see why you would bother with me. She haunts me so. I care not what you want. I cannot think. She plagues me every waking moment, and her wailing keeps me from sleep. It is beyond me power to aid you, unless the spirit of Crescent Beach is put to rest.
Spellbinder, you go search for this spirit. I will stay here and watch the rat. I hope he is not sending you on a wild hornet chase.
You hear a low wailing. Is it the wind and the waves, or something more?
Who are you, Outlander, that risks the dread curse of Grimhilda's iron spear? A wizard. The last wizard I knew cost me my life. You wish to help me? I will not be at peace until that vile captain pays for his deeds. Until then, I will haunt him to his last days. Prove your words. My namesake Iron Spear is in the bristles of the strident white razors. Retrieve it for me. My weapon! I thought I would never see her again. You have done well, wizard. I will tell you this much. Captain Coleridge's evils will not be forgiven until every member of his crew can finally rest. You take that message to him.
And some in dreams assured were of the spirit that plagued us so. 9 fathom deep she had followed us from the land of mist and snow. Quick, Spellbinder, what did you see? One after one by the star-dogged moon, too quick for groan or sigh, each turned their face with a ghastly pang and cursed me with their eye. The spirit says the whole crew hates me. Aye, 'tis probably so. Grimhilde was my loyal first mate, but I betrayed them all. Help me, Spellbinder. Help me make this right, and I'll be in your service. One of the crew was Ugor, a beastly troll, but never a finer bosun maid. Ask the spirit of Grimhilde how to find his soul.
Outlander, you have returned faster than if on Raven's wings. The captain wishes to make reparations. We shall see. Ugor was a mighty fine troll was he. His spirit is caught in the Tyrian Gorge. Seek him there, and mend his anguish.
You startled me. You're the spellbinder. Oh. Please excuse me. I'm so honored to meet you. I know I should be happy to be alive and free of the Shadow Queen's spell, but I'll never have my life back. Never mind me, spellbinder. I'm just a poor, heartbroken mouse. Wait, what is that you have there? What are you doing with our nuptial chalice? Tristram lives? Please, take me to him!
Am I dreaming? Isolde, my love! I never thought I'd see you again!
Nor are you, my dear Tristram.
Dry your eyes, sweetling. We're finally able to explore this new world of ours, together. Spellbinder, your courage brought life back to Bastion, and today, your compassion brought back love.
Oh, you reek of stale fish and rotten metaphors. What are you, an antlion? Why are you bothering me? You want to catch a goat weaver? I'm tempted to ask why a spellbinder would need a goat weaver. But, I'll trust you. Goat weavers are clever beasts, but they're also pretty dumb. Build a goat weaver pen, and one will walk right into it. I just have to have the right wood. Snap a few dead branches off the broken stumps. Don't worry, they won't feel it.
You stink of sassafras essence. It's good. Means you done what I asked. Ah, it took you long enough. I hope the synactin powder will be tough enough for all these feet.
A wizard? What you want? Why you here? Ugar no see wizard since me little girl all got hurt. Captain Coleridge send you to find Ugor? Is rat ghosts now? No? Bah! But you hear so. Ugar lost Ulag Goblet. Very important. Very important. You get Ulag Goblet from Big Bug and bring to Ugar so Ugar can drink. You do this now. Gah, fleshling! Break you! Ashling, take cup. Ugar's Ula goblet. Ugar very happy now, wizard. Bah! Ugar forget he is ghost. Cannot drink. Well, Ugar's still good. Wizard, you go speak to Grimhilde and tell her Ugar happy. You also go to Captain Rat. Tell him Ugar no more mad. For now. Ugar very happy to have Ula goblet back, but Ugar not yet very, very happy. Ugar see how broken stumps in Tyrian court, covered in Krostos lichen. Ugar want Krostos lichen. If Wizard get Krostos lichen for Ugar, then Ugar would be very, very happy. Wizard get Krustos Lycan? Yes? Give to Ugor! Now! Ugor-like! Ugor use Krustos Lycan to make new clothes. Then Ugor be best dressed of all ghosts. Ugor thank Wizard, but now Wizard go away! Ugor tell Wizard to go away, but Wizard no go. Wizard must not be sharpest club in weapon shed. Ha ha! Since Wizard's still here, Wizard will be useful. Ugor miss smell of sea. Wizard will bring Ugor sea salt from Crescent Beach, so Ugor can smell sea again.
Outlander, you helped Ugor. Yes, he is strangely fond of that goblet. Some kind of troll warrior relic, I gather. Good of you.
I heard their sighs and groans. With heavy thump, a lifeless lump, they dropped down one by one. Spellbinder? You have returned. And with what news? You eased Ugor's plight? The souls did from their bodies fly. They flew from rack to scourge. And every soul it passed me by, sounding a lowly dirge. Let me think. Cosmos! Yes, Cosmos is next. Our navigator was a great bull from Aquila. I've heard the Umbra Legion telling stories what sound like he's taken to haunting Fort Rockius. Search the fort for Cosmos's spirit.
Yes, sea salt smelled just like sea. Make Ugar remember when Ugar was Bottrol. Good times. Okay, Ugar very, very, very happy now. Wizard finally go away? A wizard! Your kind is a plague upon the skyways. Why do you pester me, wizard? There is but one who is due my full fury, and his name is Captain Taylor Coleridge. The captain sent you to disturb me? I will rend you with my axe and horns, and the scent of your spilled blood will be my perfume. You wish to make reparations for the captain? Very well. It is difficult for me to strike you anyway. My golden horns of Asterion have been taken by leaf shields. As a spirit, I cannot seem to touch them. Retrieve the horns, and I may listen.
Spellbinder returns. I thought you were finished mucking about Fort Rockius. horns of Asterion.
What word do you bear, wizard? A golden song of glory and horns to match? Better than I expected. This act may seem like a small token to you, but these golden horns were a gift from my father. When I left glorious Aquila, I said I would return with wealth and glory. Instead, I met my ignoble end on this distant shore. The captain listened only to the pernicious whisperings of the wizard Morganth. He refused to hear the warnings of his crew. And her craze for power led us all to our doom. The spirit of my mate, Yadula, is bound nearby. Help him as you did me. The safe return of my golden horns of Asterion is a buoy to my humor, wizard. Yet, I am still plagued by discontent. In life, I was the finest navigator to ever sail the spiral, but in death I am truly a lost soul. I blame the nonsensical design of this maze of a fort. It is a veritable labyrinth. What I need is a map. I've seen those contemptible black shields buzzing about with maps of the fort, and I need you to get one for me.
Can it be? A living, breathing wizard has come to visit me? Oh, let me look at you! You say the captain wishes to set things right? It might be possible. The Sakara bird... Our poor captain was taken in by her beguiling riddles and his own ravenous greed. She offered to lead us to a treasure trove of unimaginable power, and truth is, she did. It was just not a power we could survive. Yes, it has been a long, long time since I've seen a wizard. My last encounter with one did not end well. If you fetched it for me from the black shields who now possess it, it would be a balm to my spirit.
Who are you? Ye gods, it's the Spellbinder! wooden thing? Sure, take it. Take it!
The Sakara bird. Ah, she led us on some exciting adventures. I'm the last of the crew you visited? You've spoken to Grimhilde, Ugar, Cosmos, and me? Almost then, almost. Return to Captain Coleridge and tell him he no longer burns like a hot ember in my mind. I no longer care about the past. Seeing my beloved Sakara bird again has reminded me of the many worldly possessions that have been taken from me. Recently, I managed to track down my ship's logs, which are a detailed account of my entire life upon the skyways. But no sooner had I found them when they were carted off to Crescent Beach by a driftwood navigator named Zagella the Wave Tamer. There are many secrets and treasures in those logs, Wizard, and I am loath to think of that Umbra insect benefiting from them. Please, can you rescue my ship's logs from Zagella the Wave Tamer? You'll find her in the navigator's tent.
is a map. Take it! It's not like this place is that hard to figure out.
I was beginning to think you weren't coming back. Did you get the map? Excellent! I thank you for your help, Spellbinder. With this map, I'll finally be able to haunt this fort without getting lost.
Who let you in here? What have you got there? Do you dare steal from Zagella the Wave Tamer? Hold still! I've more questions. Leave with your prize! The texts are nothing but gibberish and scribbles anyhow.
So now, we just still wait? This makes no wise sense. Why would the Goat Weaver just hop into this? Spellbinder, maybe your bug friend forgot to give you all the true yarns. You better ask him soft again.
Oh, you stink of dead tree stump. What is it now? Problems with your goat weaver pen, huh? What kind of bait did you use? No bait! Well, there's your problem. Goat weavers are shy creatures. They like to be wooed. Fill the pen with some seaweed from Crescent Beach. Goat weavers love seaweed. Get to it.
Oh, happy day! My ship's logs are returned to me. Tell me, was Zagela angry to part with such valuable knowledge? What? She couldn't read it? But my hieroglyphic penmanship is impeccable. Let me show you. Here's a recipe for mandrake root stew from Cool Ranch. And here's a deliciously spicy recipe for lava lily soup from Dark War. Yum! So many priceless recipes collected from all over the spiral. You've done so much for me, young wizard. I am almost humbled. But I wonder if I might ask for one last request. You are bound for the Alcazar of Radiant Judgment, yes? As luck would have it, that is the very place I need something taken. Centuries ago, I shamefully stole a magical navigation stone called the Nova Spar from a young devotee named Edric Exalted Blade. It was a priceless Exalted Blade family heirloom. The guilt of my thievery racks my very soul to this day. Please, wizard, take the Nova Spar to the Alcazar of Radiant Judgment and return it to an Exalted Blade descendant.
The many crew so beautiful, and they all dead did lie. And 1,000 slimy things lived on, and so did I. Speak to the spirit of Crescent Beach. See if you've done enough to quell the fire in Grimhilda's heart.
You place the wet, slimy seaweed into a pile inside the goat weaver pen.
Now the pen looks like it will catch an old hug-em-squeeze-em goat weaver. Thanks for your work, Sweat Spellbinder. It shouldn't be long until a hungry goat weaver hops into the pen for some comestibles. I better keep me eyes razored to trap him.
You've given sweat and blood to us, Spellbinder. I feel I must open my heart with you. My scout brothers and I are not here for a relaxing beach vacation. We've been sent by our elders on a long hop to find the chosen one. I cannot sure say you are that one, but it's clear view to me that you are no common blood. I will not have it ever yarn that Stickin' Sandstrider did not do all he could to help squish-squash the scourge of the Shadow Queen. Heaven hold this Conda rune. If you hop the path I'm grokking, the rune will find a way to help you. Die another day, Spellbinder.
Outlander, you return to me again. What news do you bring? You have found and given solace to the Navigator Cosmos and the Quartermaster Yadula. By the Ice Titan sounds remarkable! There is but one more member of our ill-fated crew to find and mollify. But she is a frozen-hearted backbiter! She also happens to be my sister, Gunhilda Ironspear. Gunhilda is trapped within the den of a voracious antlion trapper. Wizard, I do not ask this lightly. For my sister and I had a great gulf between us in life, which has only deepened in death. But you will do me a great honor if you retrieve her lost shield from within the beast's den and free her spirit.
Little bite at home before I go out and look for dinner. suggestion.
An outlander come to steal my shield for your treasure trove? Not a thief? A messenger from my sister? Worse then, I'd prefer a thief. At least then you might have a shred of honor. I spit on you and my sister Grimhilda.
That wasn't very pleasant. Still, you should probably retrieve the lost shield and bring it to Grimhilda.
Outlander, you have Gunhilda's shield! For a wizard, you have the courage of a bear! I'm only sorry you had to encounter my sister. Of course, now I'm stuck with her for eternity. You have done us all a good turn, wizard. You fought with valor and courage, and you helped those who needed it unselfishly. Tell Captain Coleridge I'll leave him well enough alone. I have not forgotten his deeds, but I forgive him, at least a little. I will haunt his dreams no longer. Outlander, my sister and I are still beneath the cloud of shame begat by Gunhilda's last action in life.
False! It was not my action that brought the shame upon us. It was yours. I'm the older sister. I should have died first.
But I was the braver warrior. The honor of dying first was mine. Oh, you never let me go first in anything.
Blah! Apologies, Outlander. It seems even death cannot quench the fires of our rivalry. That's why we need your help. We mean to return to the Aphotic Caves, where we met our tragic ends.
And exact revenge! But as we are ghosts, we need you to do the actual fighting. Will you help rid us of our shame?
As the oldest sister, I will assist in this first skirmish. Watch and learn, Grimhilda. Come, wizard, to battle! not bad. But we have only just begun. Let us press on.
Now I shall join you in battle, Outlander, for glory!
Aptly done, but we can't quit now. Retribution awaits us.
We shall both lend our support to the Outlander for this final battle. Vengeance is nigh. Can you smell it, Gunhild?
I can, Grimhilda. Together, we cannot be broken. To battle!
We come to you through a storm of lightning to drive this place totally insane!
fault, Outlander. And you as well, dear sister. At last, victory is ours!
And how sweet it tastes. Now, let us leave this foul hole so that we may gaze upon the mighty sea one last time.
Mere words cannot properly convey our gratitude, Outlander.
But I'll be the first to try. Thank you. You are truly a mighty warrior, worthy of a seat in the spirit realm when your time comes.
Indeed! Thank you for all you've done for us, and may the final song always be sung by you!
What message do you bring from the spirits, wizard? They will haunt me no more? O happy spirit things, no tongue their beauty might declare. A spring of love gushed from my heart, and I blessed them unaware. 'Tis like a great weight, like some kind of winged snake, or giant flying lizard, or gliding squirrel, has fallen from me neck. Tell me, wizard, what can old Captain Coleridge do for you? You wish to sail the Starfall Sea? Sheer lunacy! The maelstrom will flay your flesh, and the deep spawn will suck the marrow from your bones. It can't be done. But perhaps there might be one way. A way as dangerous as the sea itself. To summon and ride the great beast! First is first. We need to craft a diving bell. Raid the docks for a bolt of goat weaver silk. You'll find it in a guarded tent.
Let you have some goat weaver silk? Do you know how hard it is to refine it from the raw milkwebs? I give you nothing. Okay, I give.
The goat weaver's silk is strong and smooth, and surprisingly light for such a large bundle.
Did you acquire what we need? Now, we need a way to work the silk. There is a mantis weaver at the driftwood docks. Her tent should not be hard to find. You need her loom.
This is not any old device, but a potent artifact, the Spinster's Loom. She may not give it up easily.
You are the spellbinder that caused so much chaos in Fort Rachias. I will weave a tapestry of your tragic tale, so that all will remember your doom! Vanish like a handful of sand thrown into the surf.
A beautiful device. You can feel how it might channel your magic.
Well done. You're certain you're a wizard and not a pirate? Use the Spinster's Loom to weave the Goat Weaver silk into a ball, as large as you can make. Think of a great hollow sphere. I hope they taught you some base skills in that wizard school of yours. You'll need your magic, but also a deft hand. Weave in your runes of magic to keep us safe from wind and storm and the hungry lurkers in the deep.
You do your best. This is not the kind of thing they prepared you for in Ravenwood. Not bad, actually. Not bad at all.
Done, are ya? That's it? I expected something a little bigger. Higher and higher every day, till over the sea at noon, the great beast had no moment's rest, for he heard the loud bassoon. We need to send a loud, clear call to the great beast. There is a mustering horde in Fort Rakius. I have heard it too often. Go and fetch it. While you're about, search for a case of Nautic stones. We'll need them too.
Wizard! I was afraid I missed you. I'm delighted you returned. Have you come for my case of Nautic's stones? Or have you come to hear my mustering horn? Its call is irresistible. Curse you, Lightbringer! Here, have my case of Gnotic stones. If you take the mustering horn, I dearly hope the things you summon consume you.
It's a beautiful war horn of ancient craftsmanship.
And what have you brought me? Let me gaze upon those Gnotic stones you plundered. I see a Mundana, and Oceana crystal, and an Atala, Rasatala, and Mahatala stone. Perfect! These enchanted stones and crystals will help us navigate. Head to the Driftwood docks and look for the ancient stone pier that lies just beyond. Sound a call on the mustering horn, and then drop the diving bell you made into the tide. That should bring the great beast up. Look for me there.
This plan is disquieting, yet I can see no other path for you to take. I pray the celestial powers will keep you safe. Keep your antennae twitching and your head on a swivel. I am sure we will meet again, Spellbinder.
You ready the mustering horn and take the deepest breath you can before giving it your all. The call warps and twists in the wind. It echoes off the rocky cliffs behind you and soars over the waves. And then you feel an answering roar from the depths below that thrums in your bones. You see a great shape slicing through the dark depths. You drop the diving bell in and hope the magic works. You step up to the great beast. You can't think of what else to call it. It's hard to even wrap your head around the idea of the thing. Using the diving bell as a kind of psychic anchor, you project your will into the great beast. For a moment, the image of dark waves and tremendous hunger threatens to drown you. But you call upon your training, your sense of school, and the power of light, and soon enough, it's purring. Though its purr could probably shatter continents.
With sloping scales and dripping maw, as who pursued with yell and blow still treads the shadow of his foe, and forward bends his head. The beast drove fast, loud roared the blast, and southward aye we fled. The Starfall Sea awaits. Shall we board our formidable craft and get underway? Climb upon the great beast and enter the diving bell. You'll need to focus on the dying star stone to guide us safely to our destination. Listen close. Despite the great beast's strength, anything could go wrong. Leave us drowning at the bottom of the waves. Or swimming in the middle of the Starfall Sea, waiting for something to snap us up. Now, place the Dying Star Stone on the pedestal to activate it.
You place the Dying Star Stone in its spot on the navigation pedestal. It sparkles with power.
If we stay on the surface, not only will the Shadow Queen's forces be able to find us, but we'll be shredded by the Maelstrom. Get ready to dive. Use the altimeter to signal the great beast to submerge.
You touch the altimeter and imagine yourself going down, down, down into the deep.
Quickly now, pay attention. I've placed the Nautic stones to help us navigate. Go to the Mundana crystal and adjust it. Slightly.
You adjust the Mundana crystal as best you can, under the captain's rapid-fire commands.
Yes, good. I think that was just enough. Wait! The great beast groans and flinches. Something is distressing him. When harried or vexed, the great beast's desire is to dive deep. If we let him, our diving bell will be ripped apart by the ocean gyre. We cannot sit on the surface, nor swim too deep, for certain death lies on either end. We need a steady hand on the helm. When the great beast tries to plunge below, we must instead force him to rise and deal with whatever we find. Use the altimeter to cause the great beast to rise, then venture out onto his back and deal with the disturbance.
You touch the altimeter and force the great beast to rise. You hear a thundering snarl of protest, but he obeys.
Buzz! It's true! The Spellbinder has harnessed a great beast of the Starfall Sea! White Razors, attack! Razors! Flee! Buzz!
White Razors, aye. They must have followed us from Crescent Beach. We'll be well into the storm soon, and they won't be able to follow. Of course, we'll have bigger problems then. Use the altimeter to convince the great beast to submerge again. We don't want to batter the diving bell more than we have to.
You use the altimeter, guiding the great beast to swim below the surface again.
I need you to check the Oceana Crystal. It keeps the diving bell safe. And also examine the Atala Stone. It measures the great beast's fear and passions.
You inspect the Oceana crystal and turn it just slightly to improve its resonance. The Atala stone purrs in time to the rumblings of the great beast. But then suddenly it flickers and sparks.
Blast and tarnation! Something in the water is bothering the beast, nipping at his fins. Rise up! Use the altimeter and break the surface. Let's draw these bedeviling vermin up with us, where we can deal with them proper.
You guide the great beast into a swift rise with the altimeter. It's a thrill to have such power under your command. Once again, the path outside is open. Time to chase off the vermin.
Whirligigs, spiteful things. They prey on smaller fish, but they'll try to take a nip out of anything that passes their way. Me guess is the Shadow Queen riled them up. Good work driving them off. That's the edge of the maelstrom we're entering. Time to send the great beast below again, so we don't get torn asunder.
Through the altimeter, you can sense how violent the storm is getting. It takes much more effort to guide the great beast this time.
Keep an eye on the Mondana and Oceana crystals, and keep them in harmony. And don't take your eyes off the Rasatala stone, nor the Mahatala stone, else the great beast may decide to devour us himself.
You do your best to keep the crystals and stones in harmony. It takes a great deal of concentration and precise measurements. All of a sudden, all of the crystals and stones start a cacophonous ringing.
Gads, I was afraid of this! The deep spawn that dwell beneath the maelstrom are rising against us! Deep spawn are vile terrors. Whether the Shadow Queen sent them, or they are just hungry doesn't matter much. They are hideous and cruel, and could tear chunks out of the great beast himself if you don't stop them. Raise us up and get ready to fight amongst the storm. Head out and drive off the deep spawn, or we'll never make it!
The altimeter shudders under your touch and grows painfully hot. The sound of the waves becomes a roar that makes your ears ring. As the way opens, you can hear a skittering of claws on scales and a dissonant call and response of the deep spawn.
Morgenth, Shog, Wakla, Nagel, Versagen! is not dead, which can eternal lie.
When the deep spawn stirred, I thought for sure you were done for. I guess something is looking out for you, wizard. I hope the way is clear. We've seen near every kind of hateful thing that swims in the Starfall Sea. It was once a serene, becalmed ocean, until the Shadow Queen stirred it up and set it to roiling. Now let's finish this journey. Dive us down!
You ease the altimeter down again, and the great beast gracefully follows your lead. Well, as gracefully as he can for his size.
It's time for you to use the Dying Starstone to guide us through the worst part of the Maelstrom. We'll be fine if you don't mess it up, in which case we'll all be jettisoned soon enough.
You focus your will to a razor-sharp point, and use that to read the mystical aura of the Dying Starstone. It pulls and spins, threatening to drag you into the Maelstrom, but you stay calm, and soon find yourself where you need to be. Yadula sent you to find a descendant of Edric Exalted Blade, but you found Edric himself, more or less.
And now there came both mist and shade, and it grew wondrous cold, and shadows dark came floating by, as black as charcoal. The fair breeze blew, the white foam flew, the furrow followed free. We were the first that ever burst into that silent sea. Welcome to this star-blasted and shadow-cursed isle. Wizard, we may be the only living things to step upon this rubble in ages. I'm sure there are plenty of ghosts nearby. You